the Vanishing Village. In the remote Appalachian Mountains, nestled among towering trees and hidden valleys, lies a village known only by whispers. It was once a thriving community, but something dark lurked beneath the surface. The few who dared to visit spoke of inexplicable phenomena that drove people away, leaving behind a ghost town. Eleanor had heard the stories. A travel writer seeking unique experiences, she decided to visit the village herself, hoping to uncover the truth behind the legends. As she drove up the narrow, winding road, an unsettling feeling crept over her. The closer she got, the thicker the fog became, as if trying to conceal the village from prying eyes. Arriving at dusk, Eleanor parked her car at the edge of the village and set out on foot. The streets were eerily silent, with abandoned houses lining the narrow paths. Each building told a story of hasty departures, with belongings left behind as if the occupants had fled in terror. As night fell, Eleanor's flashlight flickered, casting shadows that seemed to dance in the corners of her vision. She entered an old general store, its shelves stocked with items untouched for decades. A sudden chill swept through the room, and she heard a faint whisper. Startled, Eleanor turned to see a figure standing in the doorway, a man with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. He spoke in a voice barely above a whisper. "You shouldn't be here." Eleanor backed away, her heart pounding in her chest. She stumbled out of the store and into the street, but the man was gone. She hurried to the village center, where a decrepit church stood. The fog swirled around it, and the door creaked open with a haunting wail. Inside, the pews were empty, save for a single figure seated at the front. It was a child, her face hidden by a veil of shadow. Eleanor approached cautiously, and the child lifted her head, revealing eyes as black as the void. "They won't let you leave," the child said, her voice echoing off the walls. Panic surged through Eleanor as she fled the church, desperate to reach her car. The village seemed to close in around her, the fog thickening with every step. She could hear whispers all around, an indecipherable chorus that grew louder and more urgent. Reaching her car, Eleanor fumbled with the keys, her hands shaking. The engine roared to life, and she sped down the mountain road, the village vanishing behind her. But the whispers followed, a reminder of the darkness she had uncovered. Days later, when Eleanor tried to tell her story, she found herself unable to recall the details. The village remained elusive, its existence denied by those who claimed to know the area well. It was as if the village had never been there, a phantom lost to time. Yet, Eleanor knew the truth. She could still hear the whispers in her dreams, a haunting reminder of the village that should never have been found. The call of the deep. In the coastal town of Blackwater, the sea was both a friend and a foe. The town thrived on fishing, but its people whispered of strange happenings beneath the waves. Tales of missing fishermen and bizarre sea creatures were passed down through generations, becoming part of the town's lore. Lucas was a marine biologist with a fascination for the unknown. Drawn by the stories, he decided to study the waters around Blackwater, hoping to uncover the secrets hidden in its depths. He chartered a small boat and set out to explore the uncharted waters. As Lucas ventured further from shore, the water grew darker, its depths unfathomable. He dropped his equipment overboard, capturing sounds and images from the abyss below. The recordings revealed something unusual, a low hum, rhythmic and hypnotic, echoing from the ocean floor. Intrigued, Lucas dived deeper into his research, unaware of the danger lurking beneath. One night, as he reviewed the recordings, he noticed something peculiar. A voice intertwined with the hum, whispering in a language he couldn't understand. It seemed to call to him, drawing him closer to the water's edge. Compelled by an unseen force, Lucas returned to the sea. The sky was overcast, the wind howling as he navigated the choppy waters. The hum grew louder, reverberating through his body like a siren's call. As he peered into the murky depths, he saw something moving, an enormous shadow gliding silently beneath the surface. The sea churned violently, waves crashing against the boat. Lucas struggled to maintain control as the shadow rose from the deep, revealing a creature beyond comprehension. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and its form shifted, impossible to define. Paralyzed by fear, Lucas could only watch as the creature encircled the boat, its hum resonating with a deafening intensity. The voice whispered again, clearer now, urging him to join it beneath the waves. The water reached for him, tendrils of darkness pulling him closer to the edge. In a moment of clarity, Lucas resisted, fighting against the overwhelming urge to surrender. He turned the boat around, pushing the engine to its limits as he raced back to shore. The creature's hum faded into the distance, replaced by the roar of the sea. Once safely ashore, Lucas destroyed the recordings, determined to erase all evidence of what he had witnessed. But the voice lingered in his mind, a constant reminder of the depths he dared not explore again. The town of Blackwater remained unchanged, its people unaware of the danger lurking beneath their waters. But Lucas knew the truth, and he could never forget the call of the deep. The Watcher in the Woods. In the quaint town of Willow Creek, the woods were a place of mystery and wonder. The locals spoke of a presence that watched from the shadows, an unseen force that protected the forest from intruders. Few dared to venture too deep, fearing what might be lurking among the trees. Olivia was a nature enthusiast who loved exploring new trails. She heard about Willow Creek's legendary woods and decided to experience them for herself. Armed with her camera and a sense of adventure, she set out on a crisp autumn morning, the leaves crunching underfoot as she ventured deeper into the forest. The trail was well worn, but Olivia soon found herself drawn off the beaten path, captivated by the beauty of the untouched wilderness. She wandered through the trees, snapping photos of the vibrant foliage, when she felt a sudden chill. The air grew heavy, and a sense of unease settled over her. Olivia glanced around, noticing the forest had grown silent. Not a single bird chirped, nor did any leaves rustle in the wind. It was as if the woods were holding their breath, waiting for something to happen. She shrugged off the feeling and continued, determined to find the source of her unease. As she walked, Olivia became aware of a presence following her. The feeling was unmistakable, like eyes watching her every move. She quickened her pace, but the sensation persisted, growing stronger with each step. The forest seemed to close in around her, the trees casting long shadows that twisted and writhed. Finally, Olivia stopped, turning to confront her unseen follower. But the forest remained empty, silent as the grave. A soft rustle caught her attention, and she spotted a figure standing at the edge of her vision. A tall, slender silhouette blending seamlessly with the trees. The figure watched her with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. Olivia's heart raced as she backed away, her instincts screaming to flee. The figure remained motionless, its presence both menacing and strangely comforting. Conflicted, Olivia stumbled through the underbrush, desperate to escape. The forest seemed to conspire against her, the path twisting and turning until she was hopelessly lost. Panic set in as she realized she couldn't find her way back. Just when she thought all hope was lost, the figure appeared again, standing between her and the path home. It beckoned silently, urging her to follow. Despite her fear, Olivia felt an inexplicable trust in the figure and followed its lead. The figure guided her through the woods, the path becoming clearer with each step. Before she knew it, Olivia emerged at the edge of the forest, the town of Willow Creek visible in the distance. She turned to thank her mysterious guide, but the figure was gone, leaving only a gentle breeze in its wake. Olivia returned to town, her heart full of gratitude and wonder. She couldn't explain what had happened, but she knew the woods had a protector, a watcher in the shadows, ensuring the forest remained untouched by those who would do it harm. And though she never saw the figure again, Olivia felt its presence whenever she ventured into the woods, a silent guardian watching over Willow Creek's natural beauty. The Collector's Curse. In the heart of Boston, an unassuming antique shop held a collection of rare and peculiar artifacts. Its owner, Mr. Whitaker, was known for his discerning eye and eccentric tastes, amassing treasures from around the world. But there was one artifact that remained hidden from view, a relic so cursed that even Mr. Whitaker dared not display it. Ava, a history student with a fascination for the macabre, stumbled upon the shop one rainy afternoon. The bell chimed softly as she entered, the scent of aged wood and dust greeting her like an old friend. She wandered through the aisles, admiring the collection of curiosities. Mr. Whitaker watched her with interest, sensing her appreciation for the unusual. He decided to show her the shop's most prized possession, a cursed amulet said to bring misfortune to all who owned it. The amulet was kept in a locked cabinet, its sinister aura palpable even through the glass. Intrigued, Ava asked about its history. Mr. Whitaker explained that the amulet was discovered in an ancient tomb, believed to be cursed by the spirits of the dead. Every previous owner had met a tragic end, their lives unraveling in inexplicable ways. Despite the warning, Ava felt an inexplicable pull toward the amulet. It was as if the relic called to her, whispering promises of knowledge and power. Ignoring her better judgment, she persuaded Mr. Whitaker to sell it to her, convinced she could uncover its secrets. That night, as Ava studied the amulet, strange occurrences began to unfold. The air grew heavy with tension, shadows flickering in the corners of her apartment. She heard whispers echoing through the halls, their voices a chilling reminder of the curse she had brought upon herself. Determined to break the curse, Ava delved into her research, hoping to find a way to appease the restless spirits. The whispers grew louder, their tone more insistent, as if urging her to discover the truth hidden within the amulet. Days turned into weeks, and Ava became consumed by her obsession. Her once vibrant life faded into the background, replaced by a haunting fixation on the amulet's secrets. Friends and family noticed her change, but Ava brushed off their concerns, determined to see her quest through to the end. One stormy night, Ava reached a breakthrough. She discovered a ritual said to cleanse the amulet of its curse, freeing the spirits trapped within. As she prepared the ceremony, the whispers intensified, their voices a cacophony of anger and despair. Ava began the ritual, chanting the incantations with fervor. The amulet pulsed with a dark energy, the air crackling with tension. The room grew cold, and the shadows deepened, coalescing into a figure that watched her with malevolent eyes. The ritual reached its climax, and the figure lunged toward Ava, its presence overwhelming. But just as it seemed the curse would claim another victim, a blinding light enveloped the room, dispelling the shadows and silencing the whispers. When the light faded, Ava found herself alone, the amulet shattered at her feet. The curse had been broken, and the spirits were finally at rest. Exhausted but relieved, Ava vowed to never again underestimate the power of the unknown. The antique shop remained a haven for the strange and unusual, but Mr. Whitaker never spoke of the amulet again. And though Ava's life returned to normal, she carried the memory of her encounter, a reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of curiosity.